A landslide is the downward and outward movement of soil, rock, or artificial fill material on sloping terrain under the influence of gravity. This natural disaster occurs frequently throughout the world and can cause significant loss of life and property. Various factors play a role in the formation of landslides, and their effects can be evaluated in a wide range. Deforestation. Natural causes are generally based on rainfall softening the soil over time, heavy rainfall, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and the pushing of rocks by gases trapped underground. In this video, we will look at the causes, consequences, and common disasters of landslides. Welcome to Disaster Watch channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good time. Sinkholes are karst landforms formed by the collapse of the ceilings of the cavities formed as a result of the dissolution of easily soluble rocks, such as limestone underground over time. These formations can occur under the influence of human activities as well as natural processes and can cause various problems. Like this truck that suddenly fell into the sinkhole under the highway. The asphalt could not withstand the weight and broke and collapsed. Fortunately, it is a small hole. The sinkhole that formed under the National Corvette Museum caused a much bigger collapse. The sinkhole that formed under the museum over time could not withstand the weight and collapsed after a while, turning the Corvettes in the museum, worth millions of dollars, into scrap. Groundwater combines with carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to form carbonic acid. This acidic water dissolves soluble rocks, such as limestone over time, creating caves or cavities underground. The ceilings of these cavities collapse when they can no longer support the load, just like in the National Corvette Museum. Events such as landslides, avalanches, and glacier breakups are part of a complex system in which natural processes are directly linked to each other. These events can trigger each other, leading to larger disasters. Large glaciers exert tons of weight on the rocks they rest on, keeping them under pressure. Over time, however, these rocks can no longer withstand the pressure and begin to crack and break. When large pieces of rock break off and move, it can cause glaciers to break. With global warming, glaciers are melting rapidly, causing the ground they are attached to lose support. Melting water seeps into the soil, making it heavier and reducing friction. As a result, soil and rock masses move more easily on slopes, causing glacier breakages and avalanches. These adventurous people want to see the glaciers up close. They're a little too close, aren't they? Even if they survive the waves of falling glacier fragments, getting wet in -20-degree weather is very painful. A small earthquake can trigger landslides, especially in mountainous areas. These slides can also trigger avalanches if they occur near a glacier or snowfield. Earthquakes can trigger both rock and snow movements, causing a double disaster. Of course, human impacts, mostly fossil fuel use and construction activities, can trigger the movement of unstable snow masses, leading to avalanches. Mountaineering and skiing enthusiasts should be prepared for this. Otherwise, damage is inevitable. These skiers escaped unharmed thanks to buildings standing between them and the avalanche, but they may not always be so lucky. What looks like a downpour of rain hitting the glass is actually an avalanche falling on a mountain tunnel. This avalanche, which starts with the sliding of the loosening soil, continues for a long time. The fact that there is a tunnel where vehicles and people can take shelter prevents a possible disaster. Although this avalanche, which lasts about 1 hour, is pleasant to watch, it is a fact that it becomes very annoying and frightening after a while. If you are going to places with avalanche danger like this, make sure there is a place to take shelter in case of danger. Volcanoes are mountains formed when magma deep in the earth rises to the surface and accumulates over time. This process can take millions of years and is directly linked to tectonic movements. The formation and movement of volcanoes can cause serious geological changes in the environment and trigger landslides. This cloud of volcanic ash collides with a low-pressure cloud. The resulting image is interesting and beautiful. The density of the volcanic cloud and the angle of the sun's rays create a spectacular shadow on the clouds and an awe-inspiring sight. This is what happens when you turn it upside down. These magnificent formations are as deadly as they are life-giving. Deep underground, magma begins to move upwards due to extreme pressure. When the magma finds weak spots in the Earth's crust, it approaches the surface and the process of forming a volcanic mountain begins. When the magma reaches the surface, it cools and solidifies and builds up over time to form a volcanic cone. Lava, volcanic ash, and pyroclastic material erupt in eruptions, forming new layers. Volcanic activity is not limited to eruptions. Lava flows and volcanic deposits accumulated over time can trigger different natural disasters by changing the surrounding soil structure. One of these is landslides. The climbers here see a small landslide and try to cross it without paying attention. But they soon realized that it was a sign of a much bigger landslide, so they moved away at the last moment and narrowly avoided a disaster. Once again, we see the importance of working in groups and working with careful and experienced people in mountaineering. Heavy rainfall, water flows and floods are one of the most powerful initiators of landslides. Water can change the physical structure of the soil, making it slippery and moving. Combined with the soil, powerful streams of water create mud flows that destroy everything in their path. You never know which way they will go and what they will bring. It is one of nature's most dangerous instruments of destruction. There are no precautions that can be taken other than staying away from slopes and stream banks and potential flood zones. The flood flow under the road is so strong that part of the road has collapsed. We can see the depth of the sinkhole by looking at the giant sewage pipes dragged in from a factory miles above. Officials arrive on the scene in time to prevent a possible tragedy. They close the road to vehicle traffic and move people away from the area. Once again, we realize the importance of being conscious. It takes weeks to repair the damage. The sinkhole formed under the road is collapsing due to floodwater. The sinkhole is so deep that we cannot see where the water is going. Although the road is filled and repaired in a short time, it collapses again. It seems necessary to take precautions to prevent bigger disasters. Houses built on riverbanks are advantageous for fishing and transportation, but are always at risk from landslides caused by heavy rains. The soil beneath these buildings is washed away by the flood flow, emptying the ground. Nothing can be done to prevent the destruction. Villages built on mountain slopes and forested landscapes may be cozy and the stuff of everyone's dreams, but in reality, they are always in danger and on the brink of destruction. As mud flows wash over this village, the inhabitants can do nothing but run for their lives. All over the world, we see ancient cities covered in mud and earth. If we don't learn from these, we will continue to be hurt. More settlements will be buried under soil and mud and disappear. After the rain subsides and the floods stop, the scale of the disaster becomes clear. The devastation is so great that it often takes years to recover. And sometimes what we have lost never comes back. When disaster strikes, we can do nothing but stand and watch. Isn't it time to learn from the devastation that happens every year? This gas station, built on the side of a mountain, was destroyed when the drainage wall built as a precautionary measure could no longer withstand it and collapsed. A potential disaster was averted thanks to the vigilance of employees who recognized the problem early on. Taking precautions against the risk of fire and explosion may have saved many lives. Mountainous terrains are highly prone to natural disasters such as landslides and rockfalls due to their sloping structures and geological features. These events can be triggered by both natural processes and human activities and can cause serious loss of life and property. Rock falls are the phenomenon where rock fragments break off from steep slopes under the influence of gravity and fall down. Such events are particularly common in mountainous regions and along roadsides. Temperature changes and freeze-thaw processes cause rocks to crack and weaken. It increases the risk of falling. The chemical structure of rocks deteriorates under the influence of water and air, which reduces their durability and makes it difficult for them to adhere to the ground. Plant roots entering rock cracks can break rocks as they grow. Crumbling rocks are more likely to fall and cause landslides. Seismic vibrations can cause rocks to dislodge. It can cause loose soil to slip and drift. Rock falls can cause road closures and disrupt transportation. Although most countries nowadays take safety measures at the roadside against the risk of rock falls, this is not possible everywhere. Buildings and other structures can be damaged by falling rocks. Rock falls, especially sudden ones, can lead to loss of life. Humans are curious by nature. They often like to stand by the side of the road and watch what is happening, and this brings with it a great risk. Although landslides and rock falls in mountainous areas are part of natural processes, human interventions and climate change can increase the frequency and severity of these events. Therefore, it is vital to raise awareness of those living in risky areas and take the necessary precautions. This solo climber was saved from being buried by the rock he was leaning on when he froze. But will he be so lucky every time? After he recovered from the shock, he recorded it for us. Of course, there are valuable lessons to be learned from this video, such as the structure of the earth, the speed at which stones and earth fall, places to take shelter, and precautions that can be taken. The importance of always being ready for every danger and acting consciously. We have watched many times with different examples how these events, which seem small at first, grow rapidly and turn into disasters. We all love nature trips, nature sports, mountain walks, and we do them frequently. In this video, I tried to talk about possible dangers and disasters that can happen to us, how we can be aware of them, and how we can take precautions. I hope it will be useful for the viewers. Thank you for watching, friends. If you like and follow the video, you will support me. See you in the next video. Stay healthy and happy.